everyone. I am Trupti Dhodmise. I have secured rank 16 in UPSC 2018 examination. My optional was political science and international relations. I have got marks of 313 in political science, and this is improvement of 73 marks over 2016 examination, because I got 240 marks in the political science in my last mains, that is 2016 exam. So here I would like to, I am going to give you suggestions and my strategies which I had adopted to improve this marking. So political science is a optional subject, and they expect, that is the UPSC expect, that you should write like an expert and not a generalist. They require the specialist opinions, specialist answers. So I would split my strategy in 4 parts, like paper 1 section A, B, and paper 2 section A, B. First, book, I would start with the book list. So in paper 1 section A, I referred O.P. Gauba and Andrew Haywood, and for paper 2 I referred Lakshmikant, also PRS website and Rajya Sabha TV debates, and also I studied the bills and their bills and its provisions, and a recent debate on the bills through the newspapers. And for paper 2 section A, I read IGNOU notes for comparative politics and its concepts, and for another issues in the global world, I followed the Globalization of world politics. That is a very nice book and very pleasant to read. So I would suggest that you should read that book once, because from that book I got a link that how to write a political science and international relations subject. So the sentences in those books are like guidance to me, that is how to write and how to write in the political science language. So that is a very wonderful book. And for paper 2 section B, I referred the book. I first read the book Does the Elephant Dance by David Malone, and the second one was the Oxford publication India's Foreign Policy, that is the compilation. And I got various perspectives regarding the Indian foreign policies in those in that book, because various authors, experts have written their perspectives about the India's relations with many other countries in that book. This was my book list. And how did I approach to the subject? I first read all those books very thoroughly, and my reading, my emphasis was understanding the concepts, understanding the context through which the writers have written, and I tried to develop my thought process like them, so that even if any topic has come into the picture about the political science or international relation, I should also think about like that, whether it is new or old issue. So the conceptual understanding is very important, especially the theory part, where the various concepts we have to learn, like rights, equality, justice. And for the ideology parts, I read Andrew Haywood book, and it is a book which is written in very simple language, and they have given various examples, and those examples I have put in my answers. So it is very wonderful book to refer for the ideology. And newspaper, my whole preparation was heavily relied upon the newspapers, because in newspaper various political thinkers and political experts were writing on the thoughts also. Like I have read many articles on Mahatma Gandhi. When there is a Mahatma Gandhi Jayanti on 2nd October, there various people and various experts wrote on the Mahatma Gandhi's thoughts. So I have got some new points, new suggestions in those articles. For I would like to suggest one, that Mahatma Gandhi has given concept like capitalists should not be the capitalist, actually they should be the trustee of the wealth. So one expert or author has written in his article that recently the Bill Gates through his work through the Bill Gates Foundation, and Warren Buffett also donate his 99% of the wealth. So that is the concept which are being implemented practically in the wealth. So these are the examples which I got from the newspapers, and I used whenever the thoughts of Mahatma Gandhi I have to explore upon. So I would suggest that you should read newspaper very nicely and keeping your syllabus in the mind. So it would help to find out what is useful for you and what is useful for your examination point of view. So in a second paper 1 section B, that is the Indian polity and constitution, the Lakshmikant is like a Bible. You should read it very thoroughly, and it is very nice book. So I have read it many times, and it is important for the prelims also. So when I read the Indian polity and international relations in the preparation of political science, I also prepared keeping in mind that I have to prepare for the GS2 also. So I need not prepare for the GS2 separately. So in GS2 in section B of paper 1 I followed the PRS website also. PRS website also and RSTV debate to have new examples in the Indian constitution, and you have to think the constitutional problems, legal problems very maturely. You have to be like bureaucrat whenever you see any problems, not like a student, so that your perspective would be quite matured and quite developed in that sense, and your answers would be reflecting in those perspective. So you would get good marks. Like in the optional I got 313 marks, I also got good marks in the GS2, that is 124. So it is because of the composite preparation I have done for the optional also and the general studies also. In the comparative politics, which is very tough part for the, it is considered as a tough part for the students, but it is not as such, because you have to be conceptually cleared about the comparison of the political systems of various things and the various theories, which I get cleared from the IGNOU notes. And IGNOU notes also contain some of the examples which I have reminded, which I have kept in memory to explore the various situations. And also I used various current examples to give the examples in the comparative politics, current happenings, like there is a rising trend in the rightist ideology in the Europe, and while Europe and India both are the democracies, so comparatively there is a similar rise of the rightist ideology. So we have to be we have to keep our eyes open in that sense also. So we can use these examples while we are elaborating our answers in the comparative politics. So IGNOU notes are very important to read, and they clear your concepts very nicely. And another part of the section A of paper 2, I have referred the Globalization of World Politics. As I earlier said, that it is a very wonderful book, and I enjoyed the book reading for twice or thrice. So study that book not for the sake of knowledge, but how should we write the answers, how should be our language, how should be our the sentence, because I was very poor in the articulation of the political science. Political science needs a different language. It is not a specific general sentence in active voice. There is some various phrases, various words, various verbs we have to use, so that it gets the touch of like a specialist, and I have to work hard upon that because I am a vernacular medium student. So that book was very helpful for me to develop my language. And for international relations section, the basic books I have told, but I have kept following the newspapers and the various articles, like from the C. Raja Mohan, and also various like Rajiv Bhargava, and various international experts write upon the various relationships of the India with other countries, like India US relationship. Nirupama Rao writes her perspective because she was a US ambassador. So we have to keep eye on those articles, because their perspective and their views are quite matured and very rich in content. They have various contexts through which they form the opinion. So I referred various articles from the Indian Express, The Hindu, and also I have read Economic Times. And for the international relations, I also get help from the Economic Times, because Economic Times articles are written in the economic perspective, not only the sake of the political or the social perspective. So Economic Times article I used to follow for the international relations also. So you have to choose your resources very wisely, and you have to take very important things out of that which are useful for the your syllabus. We have to write the exam. So we are not going to be a very wide expert, or we are not going to make a PhD in that. So we have to keep also limits on our resources, and within those limited resources we have to enrich our content. So in my view, I also joined the test series. I have joined 2 test series of 2 institutions, and because I was very weak in the political science, I have very bad marks in the last examination. So I joined 2 test series, and I followed it on time, and I wrote those test series. And when I got the model answer sheets, I analyzed, as I compared where my answers are weak. In model answers there are various new content and new experts opinions and new thoughts we have got to read. So I take those from the model answer sheets and I added into my notes, and that was also very useful for me, because for every topic we get the new point, and when we have to answer the question in examination, so that added point would get one extra mark to us. So my fight was for the +1 marks in each answer. So we have to fight for 1 marks. So this was my whole strategy about it. And the answer writing is very important. We should not leave any answer, because this time it happened that political science people could not complete 10 marks, 15 marks, and 10 if you skip 10 marker, 15 marker, you lose 5 to 6 marks, and 5 to 6 mark would take you away from the list or lose your rank by 20, 30. So we have to complete our paper in any way. So we have to make our hand and brain habitual of that. We have to use our time very wisely and efficiently. And this is all about the political science, and all the best to all of you for your future preparation. And I wish you got the great success beyond mine. Thank you.